Good morning, everyone. Yes, I know the title says coffee morning with friends, but in the description of it,
morning, everyone.
Sorry, I forgot to turn the sound off on the PC. Yeah, in the description, I have put in memory of the 72 victims of the Grenfell Tower disaster, because it's exactly a year today at 1:30 this morning that there was an awful fire in a block of flats which claimed the lives of 72 people. Now, if I'm still alive at 12 o'clock, I will be doing a minute's silence to commemorate the anniversary of the Grenfell Tower disaster. And in respect for the 72 victims the disaster claims. Hello, Pixie. You're the only one here at the moment. It says I've got 3 viewers, but you're the only one in the chat. So, yes, at 12 o'clock, if you're around, I'm going to do a minute's silence for the Grenfell Tower disaster. So, I hope it... hey, night owl, how are you? I hope it hasn't blown you off your feet this morning, Mr. P. It is quite windy, and they have named the storm Hector. So yes, that's the name of the storm that we've I don't know what you call it. I mean, it's not a storm because it hasn't been raining. It's just very, very windy. Hey, Kate, how are you?
Hello.
Pixie says his brain cells blew away.
Oh, today now.
Oh God, it's ever so windy here. I don't know what I mean about. Hey, Emily. Hey, Marie. Yeah, it's. I mean, like Callum's bedroom is like above the kitchen, so it always gets warm in Callum's bedroom. And as I was saying, it got the windows wide open, and he had to get out of bed last night and shut them because it was very, very windy.
Oh wow. Yeah, it was pretty windy here yesterday. It rained, and I still got a headache. It's killing me here, but it rained and then it stopped and rained and stopped. I'm like, will you just downpour for goodness sake? No. Yeah.
Oh, Kate says, I know. I went out to put the rubbish in bin and couldn't shut the door because of the wind. It stopped raining, but I think it's a funny thing. It's warm,
yeah.
But I think it's like how can I put it? It's what they call in Storm Hector, and it's basically just the wind. You know, we've not had a deal of rain. It's just this damn wind. Hi, Kate.
Hi, Kate. The beautiful lady Kate. Both of them.
So yeah, same as I say. I mean, when we got up this morning, Pixie said to me, "Well, that's the drone flying the drone gone out the window."
Yeah,
same as I say, it is. It's like hurricane type wind, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it's really, really windy.
Yeah. Hello, Pixie. Yeah.
So
I talked to Keith last night.
Yeah.
And I did apologize for being quite verbal. And he says, you know what? He goes, everybody's entitled to their opinion. There's no worries.
Exactly. I said that in the chat. I says, whichever way you look at it, the people in the chat, Coach Eli, James Cox, or whatever, everybody has got their own opinion. It did get quite heated towards the end, and I felt sorry for Keith, actually. Yeah. You know, that was the person I felt sorry for, was Keith.
Yeah, exactly.
And because at the end of the day, Keith was doing the interview. It was his channel, and he basically got caught in the crossfire.
Yeah.
Well, but that's my opinion.
Sorry, my cat's being a bit of a bonehead today. She's getting all tangled up in my cords.
Uh,
Well, he went on. Well, Barry went live for a bit afterwards because he felt like everybody needed to calm down and everything, right? And then Keith came on with him.
yeah.
And Keith even said, he goes, "That's the first time I've ever been that quiet in an interview."
It says what? Sorry.
He said that's the first time he's ever been that quiet in an interview.
Well, yeah, but you see, I mean, at the end of the day, it is quite a controversial subject.
It is, yeah.
And basically, I mean, no disrespect to Keith, but when he sort of scheduled the interview, he knew or should have known that it was going to be a bit controversial.
Yeah, well, he knew, yeah. And he said the thing was the conversation was going really, really good. I mean, he was getting to know Coach Eli as a person and everything else. And then he said, then he started bringing this up. And then it just kind of went from there. And then Keith was so controlled, and he derailed the conversation for a bit and got back onto about Eli. And then after that, well, I don't want to get.
Well, I think basically what it was. Yeah. I mean, no disrespect to anybody.
Oh no,
James
absolutely.
Cox didn't help the situation by coming into the chat.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, I understand it from his point of view. He came in to defend himself.
Yeah.
But in retrospect, it sort of got Coach Eli. I mean, I'd never heard of Coach Eli before last night. I'll be honest. I'll put my hands up. I'd never even heard of him before last night.
Yeah.
But yes, I understand that James Cox came in to defend himself, but
he could have done it some way else.
Yeah, in my opinion, and this is only my opinion. It was like goading Coach Eli. Yes, there is a bit of history between the two of them, from what I can understand.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah, he could have done it another way.
Yeah, I mean, same as somebody in the chat said, this is a conversation that Coach Eli and James Cox have got to have privately between themselves.
Absolutely.
Not during an interview.
Yeah. Well, Keith even said when he saw Barry's comment, it's time to end it. That's when he said, "Okay, we're done." Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't the platform to, the differences, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And same as I say, I did say I felt sorry for Keith, because it like he were caught in the crossfire, and same as Kate says, could we have respect for Keith? I mean, that was my, a lot of people left.
Yep.
A lot of people left. And basically, I'd been asked to take care of the chat, any questions that came up. So basically, I stopped.
Yep.
If you know what I mean.
Yeah, I hear you. Yep.
And Pixie left because he were feeling ill. He had this pain in his jaw, and I don't know whether it's neuralgia or what it is, but he was in a lot of pain last night.
Oh boy.
So but yeah, I mean it. I mean, as well as I do.
Yep.
Keith doesn't like controversy.
No.
And it does do good interviews. It does brilliant interviews.
Absolutely, yeah.
But to be caught in controversy like that, it was sad, really.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing was, too, Keith even said it. He says they're two strong-headed men. They're very passionate about what they do. And the problem is they just keep butting heads. And that's like it was, yeah.
I am Mars and Kate James, not Katie, Kate's. It was an interview that Eagle VP did with Coach Eli.
Yeah.
I am Paul. Yeah. Nah. The top and bottom of it was, from what I can understand, is Coach Eli was in the hashtag I'm a creator.
Yeah, he used to be, yeah.
Yeah, and then he left. but now is sort of slating James Cox.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it got very heated. Well,
Yeah.
it did towards the end. I mean, Keith's aim was for everybody to get to know Coach Eli. Same as I said before,
Yeah.
I'd never heard of Coach Eli. I'm not a supporter of his, so I didn't really know a lot about him, but basically, yeah. And Kate says we felt bad for Keith.
Yeah, Keith's
and I think it sort of went down not the way he expected it to, if you know what I mean.
No, but I'll tell you this much: he held together absolutely brilliant. He did a brilliant interview, and I couldn't expect any less from Keith. And I'll say that to his face. I'll say it anywhere.
He's in the chat, actually.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, I saw that.
I'm just going to send him an invite. I mean, we're all saying, Keith, that we felt sorry for yourself.
Oh, absolutely.
Because you were sort of basically caught in the crossfire.
Yep. I did apologize to him because I did get quite verbal on my end of it, but that's because I know both of them since Coach Eli was in there and whatever. Like, I mean, I know everybody's talking about this right now, and it's like, and I felt as soon as I saw Kate's comment and I started to feel really, really bad. And I said, okay, yeah, you know what? His iPad is still not working.
Oh, right. Well, the invitation's there.
Yeah.
And I did say I was going to, because Kate says she was at the shops, but I will send an invite, Kate. I forgot. I were sort of like eager to get on here. I have sent Kate an invitation. Yeah. but yes, it was poor Keith got caught in the crossfire, so to speak, and I hope it hasn't had a backlash from it or anything, because at the end of the day, it wasn't anything to do with Keith. He was just doing his interview like he would if he were interviewing you or he were interviewing me, or
absolutely, yeah, I totally agree. Yeah.
So yeah, and Kate says she wasn't sure what was going on, and I messaged her and I sort of says, well, from what I can gather, I mean, I didn't know the story, it's this and this, and things is getting a little bit
yeah. Well, I'll tell you, he was right upstanding and he's held together well. But all I know is he needed a good stiff drink afterwards. So,
hope you had a whiskey or something, Keith.
But no, and I did apologize. I said, look, I'm sorry if I got verbal. He goes, you know what? I didn't even read half of the chat, what was going on, because he was paying so close attention to talking to Eli, that he just totally wasn't watching the chat.
Well, this is it. I mean, and this is sort of why beforehand he contacted myself and Pixie to he did have a whiskey. I'd have probably had more than one, keeper, and I don't drink whiskey. After that, and I did say to Pixie last night, I says, I hope he doesn't get too much of a backlash from it. I mean, it's like the scenario arose between two thorns.
Yeah. It is something sort of,
it's
yeah, that's exactly, that's what I said. Yeah, they're very passionate about what they do, and they, you know what, and I'll even say that James could have picked a different time, different place to do it, because the interview wasn't about him and Eli, it was about Eli.
I'm laughing at what Keith said.
Oh, good.
He says it's first time I didn't get get a word in.
Yeah, he was quite quiet. Yeah, he was just like, poor guy.
And it's same as I say. I mean, I sort of explained it to Kate the best way I could, because same as I said, I don't know much about Coach Eli. I have heard of James Cox, and I said basically from what I can gather, and that's that's basically the way I explained it.
Absolutely. Yep, absolutely. I hear you.
And
Yep.
and at the end of the day, same as I said, I mean, I sometimes go in the hashtag I'm a creator when he's doing them, just to basically see, and as you know, I don't put the hashtag I'm a creator.
No.
Well, Kate,
Well, even James and
now, Howard, do you
sorry, go
want
ahead.
to explain to Kate what the hashtag I am a creator is all about?
Okay, well, basically, James had started this because he realized that small YouTubers were not getting the push that they needed. That YouTube just didn't care about the small people; they were going after all these big people. They changed the rules to now you have to have 1,000 people and 4,000 hours of watch time. So his goal was to get these people and small tubers like YouTubers like myself or like Eagle or like Jeanette and everybody else get that push for support. And I mean, the thing is, it's not like the sub for sub thing. It's you go in, you check out people's channels, you look at their content, and if you choose to, you support them. You don't have to. But a lot of people that are in there, like new people will support, and then as soon as you leave the room, they won't stay
The
supported.
unsupport. Well, I
Yeah,
know of quite a few channels that do that, and
yeah,
to me, like myself and you have
yeah,
actually got content, and you create things. I do my baking. You do your hauls, and you know what I mean.
yeah,
To
yeah.
me, that is a channel that's got content. Now
Yeah,
you've
there's
got,
method to the madness.
pardon me. So
So,
to me, I have known channels that go in there that just do live streams, have got no content,
yeah,
are not what I call a creator.
no, yeah. See, and even James has said, don't put the hashtag in your video if it has nothing to do with the hashtag I'm a creator thing, because YouTube will flag it, right? Eventually when they're not hearing you talk about it in your videos and stuff like that. But he even said you don't have to put it on every video, and stuff like that. Like that was the one thing he said. But the thing is, like, I find I've met so many nice people from that community. I've met you and I've met Pixie and Kate and everybody else, because that's how I met you, was through that. And then I've met Vern and everybody else. But it's, you know what, it's all in all, it's not necessarily the community itself, it's how you choose to run your channel. If you choose to just sit there and go live constantly, like you said, and do absolutely nothing but do their live and eat or whatever you're doing, you've got nothing for people to stick around for. Like I do lives, but I make my videos too, such as yourself, where you're doing the baking and everything else. You do your lives, your coffee morning, but you also do your baking and everything else. Like you have to have something to bring those people back,
Yeah,
to make them want to stay supported. It has nothing. The hashtag I'm a creator is just like a forum because it's helping small YouTubers.
yeah.
That's basically what it's.
You same as I say, there is channels out there, and they do use that as a platform
Yeah,
to gain support, and that's all they're there for.
yeah, exactly. It just, yeah, you have to use it in the right way. Yeah, there's absolutely great people, Keith. There's some wonderful, wonderful people that I've met, like you guys, like the whole community that we've got going here with Crimson, Eagle, Kate, Pixie, you, um, Barry, Big Red Bear, stuff like that. Like, I mean, it's like a little family, like I've set my alarm clock to make sure I'm up so I can talk to you guys in the
Yeah,
morning and stuff
I'm
like
just
that.
going back to what Kate says. She says, I haven't got content, but I support Easy Days. Yeah, I mean, just by being here today, you're showing your support for my channel.
Mm-hmm.
And I know you're going Pixies. and you
Yeah.
know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's it. She says, I'm not asking for subs. I just support and meet lovely people. I will one day maybe start vlogging.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
and we all feel for you, Kate, because she says due to a chronic illness, etc., and awareness at the moment, I haven't the energy and the time. Exactly. Same as I say.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, I sit here, as I've often said, but people don't know the fact that, you know, in the morning, I take 10 tablets. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Hey,
Yeah.
random.
Hey, random.
Random Life says, my question
Yeah.
is, how is it helping? Sometimes people are not creating well, though, and expect people to watch bad content.
Well, see, the thing is with that, it depends on the individual person. If you're not going to create stuff, then there's nothing for people to want to stick around for. And I do agree with you said that people are not creating anything. And I mean, there's guys on there that are do gaming every single day. That is their stuff,
Platform, yeah.
or yeah, your platform is you do your baking and your coffee morning. Mine is, I'm looking for my daughter and I'm doing my hauls and everything else, my life, my family. Eagle, he does interviews, he does like it's the whole thing is you have to have content, in order to bring the people back. If you don't have that, if you're not going to be a creator, there's what are you there for?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And they are my sentiments exactly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've got certain or some channels that they don't have the content, but they expect people to support them.
Absolutely.
And this is what I mean. I had to tell somebody off last night because somebody came into the interview and was saying, support me and I'll support you back. And I says,
Yeah.
look, this is not a support. This is not a support for support. It's an
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
sort of told them off, and basically they just says, "Oh, okay." And I think they went
Yeah.
after that. But I mean, you
Yeah.
have got people such as that person, and they're going in, hopping from live stream to live stream, and saying, "Well, I've supported you. You support me."
Yeah. Those are the kind of people that give that kind of community a bad name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it sort of, this is what we're trying to say. If you're going to
Yeah.
watch my channel, if you're going to watch my live stream, watch my baking vlogs as well. You know what I mean? That's,
Yeah.
I don't just sit here and do live
Yeah.
streams. I
Yeah.
put, I put my content, which is what I love, and that is baking.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. And I agree with Kate. Our Kate family. She says she loves our little wee community, right? And the
Yeah.
thing is, she says, see, if it wasn't for Mrs. P and Mr. P, the entire community, you know, it's you guys have become a community, but each individual channel has their own each individual content, which, in that way, it fuels the growth of your channel. And as the other Kate James says, you also get channels that are specifically there to cause drama for drama, and certain people are addicted to it. They want to egg people on, they want to get people's goat and keep, like it's a
Yeah.
tough one because that's the kind of people that ruin that kind of community, you know.
Well, exactly, Kate. And that is what Nightal was just saying. You need to go to the channels, look at the content, and if you decide, it's up to you whether or not you support them.
And even James has said that on several occasions. He says, don't just go and like it just to like it. He says, go check out their content, watch a couple videos, see what they're all about before you choose to support them. Right. And he's made that several times. He said that. And but people aren't doing that. They just want to grow their numbers up to 1,000 and everything else. Like I sit here and I'll go through, and like I said, I have like 450, 500 sometimes notifications in the morning, and I will go through my whole list. Like I'm not going to watch every video every day, but I will pick certain people. I'll go through, like, especially when you guys pop yours up. First thing I do is watch your guys' videos because you guys are important to me. Your content is amazing, and I want to see what you guys are putting up. But
That's it.
you
Keith
know,
put,
it's
check out Coach Eli's stream from last night. He had Granite and Green Bay Wacky on after Keith did his interview.
Yep. Yeah. But yeah, it's just the whole thing. Like I said before, it boils down to two very passionate guys. Hi, Andy.
Hi, speech, Andy.
Two guys that are very passionate about what they do, and they're both two different guys who just their personalities clash. And I think, like I said, I'll agree with Kate and everybody else. There could have been a different place and a different time for them to discuss their differences. Last night in the stream, like you said, James was there to defend himself, but he could have done it differently in a different form.
Yeah. I mean, that were my opinion. Yes, they're both strong characters.
Yeah. I think we lost
James to sort of have a slanging match.
Yeah, exactly. Almost lost you for a second there.
Well, going back to the thing about content and everything, yes. Random Life Productions, I mean, she's an avid photographer, and to me, that is someone that puts their heart and soul into the content that they create. Not sort of somebody going on Snapchat or whatever, doing funny voices, doing funny, you know, this, that, and the other. You know, to me, that is the, you know, what I call content. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yeah. If I'm going to do, like you and I, we, well, not just you and I, but the community that we have here, we do more than just do the coffee. More, we have a discussion, we, you know, and whatever. But it's like, put it this way, if all my lives were just someone sitting there watching me eat, so to speak,
yeah,
who's going to tune into that?
That's it. Oh, you're welcome, Gail, because I mean, you know, and it's like I've said, a lot of the smaller channels are very underestimated, so to speak.
Absolutely.
You know, you've got like people that are brilliant guitar players, brilliant singers, and to me, they're not getting the sort of exposure that I think that they deserve.
Absolutely. And that's what James is all about in that sense. And I want to make this quite clear too. It's not about James. Yeah, he created the hashtag, but it's not just, it's about everyone in the community. And that's the one thing. I mean, and I'm sure on Coach Eli's side too, that's what he's about too. He's about the people and about the content and getting that out there, because I mean, sometimes some of the smaller channels need that little push, you know, and it's just, I agree. The content, you have to have sustainable content in order to keep your channel going.
Well, this is it. I have Family Fun Vloggers and Tim's World and Mr. Peanuts Gaming. And if you were wondering, Keith and Gail and everybody else, it's Salty Nuts has changed his name.
Oh, what, Mr. Peanuts? Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Peanuts Gaming is Salty Nuts.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. I remember that from last time. Yeah. But yeah, it's tough. It's hard though, because I mean, like you said, we're small YouTubers and we're just trying to get our channels noticed.
Yeah, and I'm with Osbeach Andy on what he's just said. He just does it for himself and those who like to watch my videos, and that they are my sentiments exactly. And I did comment on that last night.
Yep.
You know, I do it for my channel. I do it for myself. You know, and if people like watching what I'm baking or whatever, then you know, I'm fine with that.
Yep. Exactly. I agree.
You see, going back to this, I mean, I'm not pulling anyone down. Family vloggers, you know, you've got to interact with the chat to gain people's support, not just coming in and saying, we've supported you. You know what I mean? I mean, interact with the chat. You're more likely to get support from people in the chat other than saying, I've supported you, I've supported you.
Yeah, because, and that's the thing. Like, if you're gonna genuinely support someone, you've got to go check out their channel, watch their videos, see what their content is about, and see if that's something you want to be supported to, you know, or supportive of.
Yeah, and I'm going back to a comment that Marie's just put in. She's not a creator, but she's in everybody's streams. They're supporting them.
Absolutely. Yeah. And there is channels like that are just on YouTube to watch the videos and just for content. Like a lot of people don't have.
Well, you see, our friend Joy, she doesn't do a YouTube channel, but she has created a channel to join us on as panels, etc., and come in and interact with the chat.
Yep. I agree. Yep.
You know what I mean? So in actual fact, she isn't a YouTuber, she isn't a creator or anything. She is there just to support us.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And Osby says, in reality, if you support 2,000 followers, and Pixie said exactly the same thing. You know, when he said a few weeks ago, he got up one morning and got something like 1,000 notifications. There is no way that you can. I mean, he does his best. He works 8 hours a day. So he watches, comments on as many as he possibly can.
Absolutely. The same here. Yep. Yep. Like that's what I go through. I go through my list and it's like, I just start watching as many as I can that day. And I feel bad. I mean, there's channels, like I said, between yours and Pixie's and everything else, like other channels that I actually watch every day. And I make sure that I go and watch their videos because I absolutely love their content. But I try and at least give everybody a chance to see what their videos are about, you know?
Well, this is it. Yeah. Made in Certio. Higher.
Yeah, good morning.
And Moz has just exactly. He's got over 400 and he has trouble following all. This is this thing we're trying, you know, and same as going back to the 4,000 hours watch time, etc.
Yeah, you can't be everywhere all at once.
It converts into you've got to watch YouTube like 6 or 8 hours a day to possibly get the watch time, etc.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? It's sort of now they've moved the goalpost, making it harder for the smaller YouTube channels to you know, to attain any sort of
goals. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just gotta find my glasses here. All right, but oh well. I'll wait till later. Well,
I mean, I'd be lost without mine, so I'd not be interacting with chat or anything if I hadn't got my glasses.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, and the thing is, like, I love each and every one of you guys, and there's no way that I would be unsupported to any of you guys. Like, and I even said, like, it would be 10,000 supporters, and I would still make sure that you guys, like, my little families are at the top of my, you know, at the top of my list. Okay. To answer Kate, my view is, I like the hashtag I'm a creator community. I do like it because I have met some really awesome people, such as Mrs. P from there. And we've become quite close. You know, and Mrs. P has given me advice on countless occasions. She's just an absolutely all around awesome lady. And so is everybody else in this little community here. You know, that being said, I mean, I love it. I go for the thons. I attend it and do whatever. but I'm there to support people for their content, which is what it's supposed to be about. Not just to support people just to get the supporters. Yes, it is James Cox. Yeah, that he created the hashtag because he saw that small YouTubers were struggling, and yeah. Anyway, sorry. She was asking you too, Jeanette. Sorry.
Well, same as I say, I mean, I've not really got an opinion on it myself. I mean, you know, I mean, in certain respects, you've got people that aren't creators that are going there. That this is just my opinion as well. You know, you've got people that aren't creators. So how can they class themselves as creators and go in them live streams saying that they're a creator when they're not?
They're not. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole point. Yeah. Yeah. But I mean, that's the thing. Like, I try and get ideas, not necessarily steal ideas, but get ideas from other channels. Like, I do my trivias. I love doing that. Everybody seems to have a lot of fun and everything, and that's why I go live half the time. I have a hard time just sitting there and doing nothing. I won't eat on camera. You know, like, nobody wants to see me eat. So, sorry,
but I mean, you know, when all said and done, same as I say, I haven't really got an opinion on it, you know. But you know, I mean, he has made it clear that it eventually wants to make a living from it. But to make a living from it, you've got to have like 1 million supporters. You know, I mean, Pixie is monetized. He has got super chat. But you've got to have hundreds and hundreds of pounds coming in each and every day, and it just don't happen.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight. I mean, like, the biggest one that I know is that PewDiePie. He's Swedish, but it doesn't matter where you're from. But anyways, he's got over 60 million supporters, but he obviously had to start from somewhere, you know, as a small YouTuber to get where he is today.
Well, you see, this is a thing, and Keith brought it up last night. Like Pauline Just Living, or I don't know whether she still is or was part of the I'm a Creator. She went into one of the live streams, got 30 supporters in one night, but when she got up the next morning, she'd lost them all.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I don't like that.
You know what I mean? And you see, this is the controversial thing. You know, if you're there on the I Am a Creator platform, you are going there to gain followers, sort of thing, and you expect people, if they support you, to check out your channel, comment on your content, etc. Not just gain somebody's support and then the next day they get up and then they've unsupported you.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't expect that at all. You expect if they're going to check out your content, they're going to look at it for real and stay a part of it, not just do it. See, but a lot of people go on there now and they abuse the whole idea. They get all these supporters and they unsupport you, but now you've supported them. Right?
Yeah.
And you have no idea they've unsupported you and you're supporting these people, you know?
You know, I mean, in my respect, I mean, I've just checked and I've got a thumbs down. Now, in my opinion, I'd rather somebody say, well, I've gave you a thumbs down because you were rude to me, or I've gave you a thumbs down because I don't like the subject matter that you're talking about. You know, it's all right to hide behind a thumbs down, but I want to know why you've given me that thumbs down.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I mean, it's, you know, same as I say.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
You see,
and that's
at one time, when somebody supported me, I'd get a notification. Now, the only way I know if anybody supported me is I get an email. A channel supported you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you get like people coming in to live streams saying that they've supported you, but have they really?
Yeah. Yeah. And that's when you need the YouTube studio and everything so that you can go in there um, and check, because it will say subscribed right beside their name, you know, so, and it'll
But
tell you how
hey,
many days.
Karate Joe. But yeah, I mean, I think if somebody's giving you a thumbs down, then when that person gives you a thumbs down, there should be a thing saying, well, why have you given this person a thumbs down?
Absolutely. Yep. There's yeah. Yep. And that's the thing. Like, I agree with you there. If someone's going to give you a thumb down, they should at least tell you why.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, you got to know why, because it's like, okay, did I say something to you? Is there something I need to apologize for or whatever? Like, you know, yeah.
You know, and to me, I mean, same as Random just said, we've all been getting the thumbs down lately.
Yeah.
You know, it's all right for somebody to sit there like at a keyboard or like me at a laptop and give a thumbs down.
Yeah.
But I'm not the sort of, I mean, if it were to happen and you've got to give a reason why you get a thumbs down, I'd just say, well, look, you know, A, B, or C, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, I just didn't like one, the way you're conducting yourself, two, the content that you was discussing, you know what I mean?
Yep. That's it. Yeah, well, and the thing is with the thumbs down too. Somebody told me that YouTube pays you more for the thumbs down
Exactly. Yeah, I've seen
than they
a
do for the
video
thumbs
of it.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Drone Worship actually did a video about it, and he actually shown the analytics, and he basically said that people with a lot of thumbs down actually get paid more. Well, this is basically if they're monetized.
yeah,
That they actually get paid more for thumbs down because YouTube like the controversy.
yeah,
Hi,
and get
California
the one.
Greenhorn Fisherman.
Hello.
You know what I mean? And that this is what I always say. You know, you
Yep.
can give me 10 or whatever thumbs down. I couldn't give a monkeys. You know what I mean? It doesn't bother me.
Yep, exactly.
In actual fact, it is facts that you get paid more for a thumbs down than you do thumbs up. And you know, I'm stating a fact there. Hiya,
Hey,
Mark
Mark.
Praise. Hiya, Bella. How are you?
Hey, Bella. Yeah, and the thing is too, you got to think. What was it? Was it? Kate James says to me, I don't understand the thumbs down because there's watch time. They're still giving you watch time.
Yeah, and it's
You
a
know.
view.
Yep, exactly.
You know what I mean? And this is what I don't understand about it either. You know, you're taking your time out of your day to come into my live stream just to give it a thumbs down.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
Yep.
and that is the long and short of it is you're coming into my live stream specifically to give me a thumbs down when actually you're giving me the watch time, you're giving me the views.
Yep. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Oh, Pixie's back and Emily's back. And Bella Gail says she was watching while she was getting ready for work. So I think that's answered that question.
Hi, Emily.
And I will reiterate as well, going back to what I said at the beginning of the live stream, there will be a minute silence at 12 o'clock if we're still going live at 12 o'clock. in memory of the 72 victims of the Grenfell Tower disaster. It's exactly a year ago today, at 1:30 this morning when the disaster happened. So if we're still streaming at 12 o'clock, we will be having a minute's silence.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. What time is it there now?
It is nearly 11 o'clock.
Okay. Yeah, that's what I kind of figured. I'm trying to keep up with your time and my time.
Yeah. So, yeah, Emily says she can't believe it's a year ago. And funnily enough, it was on the news this morning that 68 families are still in emergency accommodation a year into it.
Wow.
And to the actual building, it's not been demolished or anything. They lit it all up in green at 1:30 this morning to commemorate the anniversary of the disaster. Bye, Moz. Have a good day.
Bye, Moz.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, it's you know, we all hope.
Oh, hello, Perry.
Oh, that is Mrs. Beauty, Mr. Beauty on a budget.
Oh, hello.
So yeah, you know, it was an unnecessary tragedy.
Yeah.
So you know, and there were 72 lost their lives in it. And same as I said, you know, a year on, and there's still 68 that are still in emergency accommodation.
Yeah.
We've been talking about that already, Bella. I mean, it were like Keith got caught in the crossfire. It was in earlier on. He said he had to have a whiskey afterwards.
Yeah. He held his composure, though. I'll give Keith all the credit in the world. He held his composure. He didn't lose it. You know, was it Crimson was joking around? He might have turned into naughty Keith at the end of it, but but yeah, it was. You know what? He held his composure. He did exceptionally well.
Yeah.
For that.
Pixie says I needed a pick me up, so bought a Lucozade.
Yeah, there you go.
Some as I say, I'm Marisa. It was in absolute agony last night. It was some as I say, it was like his jaw. And I said to him, it sounds a bit like neuralgia, like a bit of arthritis in his jaw. I think that's, well, same as I said it. Okay. I mean, I was talking with Bella last night on the messenger, and I said, if you ask me, it's face ache.
Yep. Hi, Marisa, if that's how you say it. Marisa.
Bye, Pixie, and he's not coming home for his dinner today.
Oh.
Well, what it is, basically, is partner that he works with is off for 2 weeks. But there's a new guy started. He's only working part-time. So Pixie's boss is sort of showing the new lad the ropes. So he said to Pixie, concentrate on our area, if you know what I mean. And that's why he's sort of been every day this week, been coming home for his dinner. But because he's sort of caught up on everything around here, he's going over, you know, sort of the other side of town to sort of try and catch up a little bit over there.
Yeah. Wow.
It sort of, well, when we went to bed last night, it were like, how can I put it? It were this side.
Oh, okay.
So, and he normally lays on that side. So when we went to bed, he had a painkiller. And I says to him, I says, if possible, try not to lie on that side because you're only sort of aggravating it by laying on that side.
Yeah.
So I says to him, try and lay on your other side. And he kept saying, I get pins and needles if I lay on my left side, blah, blah, blah. and it kept saying, oh, I can see I'm going to be up all night, you know, with this pain and whatever. His head hit pillar and he were gone and he were out like a light.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Well,
Emily's like,
feeling better today.
So, as same as I say, it hasn't gone completely, you know, but I mean, it were like, funny thing is, I'm going, Emily's right, and I was talking to Bella, Beauty on a Budget, on Messenger yesterday.
Yeah.
So, and there were a knock at door. So I says, I'm going to have to go, Bella. I says, there's somebody at door. So I stands up, my knee pops out of joint. I hobble to the front door, holding my knee, and sort of like broke my neck to get to the front door. And there were a young lad there, and he says, hello, I'm from the Red Cross. And I says, sorry, don't. I says, I've nearly sort of incapacitated myself, getting up, thinking it was something important. I says, and you're stood there wanting me money. I says, no, thank you. I'm not being rude. I says, but I'm in agony here. You know what I mean? I sort of didn't want to be, I didn't want to be rude to him. And I says, basically, I says, the minute I stood up, I says, my knee popped out of joint. I says, I were in excruciating pain. I thought, well, Pixie was in the bath. So I thought, well, it's down to me to actually go to the door.
Yeah.
And then sort of, it was somebody from Red Cross, you know, with notepad and pen and, you know, can I say, I says, look, I says, I'm not being rude or anything. I says, but I says, you know, I says, I stood up, I says, my knee popped out of joint. I says, I've hobbled to the front door. I says, in excruciating pain. I says, I can do without sort of standing here and, you know, I says, I'm not interested. Thank you and goodbye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Without sort of trying to appear rude. You know, I'm stood there holding my knee in excruciating pain, and he's wanted to chit chat on the doorstep.
Oh, I hate that. Yeah.
You know, when you know, I mean, I do donate to charity, but it's going to be on my terms, not anybody else coming knocking on my door and begging for.
Yeah, I don't like that. We have guys around here that do that too, and it's like, you know what, like, I appreciate what you're doing, but this is not the time. And they're like, oh, but you know, you're doing this and you're doing that. I don't care.
Yeah, well, I mean, you see as well round here, we get people knocking on the door, or we can save you hundreds of pounds a year.
Yeah.
You know, and Kate, same as I say, I haven't actually seen any, you know, no door knockers allowed. You know, we do have stickers and saying, you know, please do not bother knocking on the door. I do not entertain, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, we need those out here. That's okay.
Anyway, you know, you get these people knocking on your door and saying we can save you hundreds of pounds if you swap to our energy supplier or this, like. And I say, look, you know, I'm with the people that I'm with for a reason. I'm happy with who I'm with. And if I was to swap, I wouldn't do it by somebody knocking on my door. I says, I'd come to you, not the other way around.
Yeah. So was that Emily's writing a new song, is she?
Did you see the one that she'd done the other day? I am me, I think it's called.
Yes, I heard that one. Yeah, that was beautiful.
We see Kate says I don't bother answering. We see what it is, Kate. I've got elderly neighbours, and sometimes you see we live in a row of about 5 houses.
Yeah.
And more often than not, I get a knock on the door and it's a parcel delivery. Or can you take this parcel in for, let's say, number 2 or number 4? You know what I mean? I'm always getting other people's parcels.
Yeah.
And sort of, when they come and collect it, they'll say, oh, I put a note on my door, but I forgot to tell you, you know, do you mind taking this parcel in? I mean, I wouldn't mind if they asked me. You know, I'm expecting a parcel today, but I'm not going to be in. Is it all right if I ask them to deliver it here? I mean, I wouldn't mind that. But a lot of the time, they deliver them here and say, can you take a parcel in for, you know, whoever. And then when they come and collect it and they'll say, oh, I should have asked you really. And I thought, yeah, I feel like saying, yeah, you should have done, Am I, because I don't go to work, am I expected to take everybody's parcels in for them? I mean, I do go out.
Yeah, they really should let you know that they're expecting it, and they might, but hello, Aiden. I don't know if I like that. Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Yeah.
I had to read that question first. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, they should let you know. Yeah, here's a big cold I wish I hadn't. Well said, Della.
You know what I mean? And this is the reason why, same as I say, I busted my gut to get up and then it was somebody from the Red Cross. You know what I mean? And I'm going to have to see if I can source some stickers out saying, please don't bother knocking on my door if you're selling something or you're wanting,
Yeah.
But this is the bugbear about, same as I say, I don't mind taking the parcels in.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? To be asked, hey, Crimson Fantasy, to be asked would be nice.
Yeah, it would be.
You know what I mean? And it's like if I'm expecting a delivery or I'm expecting a parcel, I make sure that I'm not going anywhere that particular day when it's delivered.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Not just going out and expecting one of my neighbours to take it in.
Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. Like, I have a sign, Jeanette. I'll have to find it for you. You have to get to print, Pixie to print it out and stick it in your front window. But it basically says, if you're gonna come here, it's $50 for me to listen. You have to pay me $50 to listen to you.
Or either that or my Rottweiler biting you might offend you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
My Rottweiler, leave.
And Kate says that's what we do. Wait, well, this is it. If you were, I mean, like it's like if I order something off Amazon, you'll get an email like every step of the way. Your parcel's going to be delivered between, let's say, 8 a.m. and 12. 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. They give you a time frame, and a bit close to the time, then they send you another one or a text message saying it's only got like 3 more deliveries before it delivers to you. So they keep you track or keep you abreast of the situation as how long or when you can roughly expect that parcel to be delivered.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Oh, Crimson, I can't wait. That's awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I forgot Crimson was doing an intro for Bella.
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
Like the one he did for me on my baking vlogs.
Yeah.
He's doing one for Bella.
Oh, wow. Oh, that's good. Yeah, no, we don't have that here where they let you know when they're coming. They just come.
Well, some as I say, if it's like sort of Amazon, they're pretty good at sort of keeping you updated on, and there is like a particular app. I think I don't know what it is. Pixie will know what it is, but it actually sort of there's a map and it shows you the thing. The driver actually where he's located and sort of like a moving app type thing.
Wow.
Kate has been on Beauty, but she was mobile, but I have sent her an invitation and she did say as soon as she got back she was going to jump on.
Yeah. She's a sweetheart. I can't get over how sweet she is and for everything that she's going through and everything else. Like, she's an awesome girl. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know what that app
And
is.
Beauty Bella says Baz has got that on his phone. We see, same as I say, I mean, my phone is just like a bog standard. Yeah, it's got the internet on, and yeah, it's got video, blah blah blah. But mine is not as as updated as what Pixie's is. But I do know, because what were it? Not so long back, he ordered like a green screen. Now he knew minute by minute where that driver was, and it says, oh, he's on such and such a street now. Now, if that's sort of like in our area, you know exactly where it is and think, oh, well, he'll probably only be about 5 or 10 minutes, something like that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Kate says, yeah,
Yep.
you get a text thing telling you where. Yeah, it's same as I say. It's quite good actually. So, but I mean, there is a bit of a bugbear at the moment. There's a company called Yodel.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Yodel they employ drivers on what we call a self-employed basis.
Okay.
Yeah, which means basically the more packages that they deliver, the more money they get paid.
Oh, brother.
Now, they don't actually work for the company, they work for themselves.
Oh, wow.
But there's been a little bit of controversy about it because they've been doing like an expose, throwing parcels on people. You know, like above our front door, we've got like a little roof type of thing, like a canopy above his front door. You know, and there's been pictures of they weren't in, so they've chucked it on top of this canopy and throwing it in people's front gardens because they're sort of given a set number of parcels to deliver it, and the more parcels that they deliver, the more money they get paid. So of course they try to deliver as many parcels as they can within a set amount of time. So basically, there's been things sent back because they've been destroyed and crushed, and it's basically for the fact that Yodel are employing people and putting them under pressure. You know, you've got, let's say 100 parcels in an hour period you've got to deliver. So basically they're being put under pressure to deliver so they get paid.
Right.
And of course, they're sort of giving them an impossible task. So basically they're just going to somebody's house, chucking it on front garden or chucking it on somebody's roof and say, well, I've delivered it. Misfit.
I'm glad we kind of don't have anything out here like that. Like, it's either Canada Post or UPS, or there's FedEx or whatever, but they require a signature of some sort before they can leave the package on your doorstep, and whatever, because of damage or stolen stuff and whatever. But you know what? Like, I've remember hearing about that, where they've actually thrown parcels on the roof and stuff like that, and I think that's just, yeah.
I mean, let's say, for instance, I ordered a flan dish, and it was a ceramic flan dish. Now, Amazon are quite good.
Oh yeah.
They either come with DPS, which is direct parcel service, or UPS, same as you say, or through a reputable delivery outlet. Now, let's say, for instance, that Yodel had delivered that. Can you imagine that being in 1,000 pieces by the time it got delivered to my house? You see, it clearly stated on the box, it's fragile. Treat with care. But you see, a lot of these Yodel drivers, in their mind, they've delivered it no matter what the consequences are.
I think they should take that out of their paycheck for every broken package or whatever. Hi, DIY. But
I mean, you know, I mean, it's in my mind. I mean, you've got the ones that care and the ones that don't. Hey, Mark, please.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello,
Are you not got school again, or is still exams?
There's still exams on, but I'm lucky today and tomorrow I'm off because I don't do the subjects.
Oh,
good.
So I'm relaxing.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, we're going to see Eagle on Saturday, and Pixie. Callum came home the other day. I'm not kidding you. He's got a pile of books like this high, and they're all revision. They're all revision books, like maths, science. You know, and it's this high. And Pixie says to him, I don't know, this morning or last night, I ain't heard of the North. You know, into tobacco, because it's basically the revision for his exams next year.
Yeah.
So Pixie says to him, he says, into tobacco time, you sort of got your head sort of in some of these books, and he says, oh, don't worry, he says, when we're going to visit Keith on Saturday, he says, I'm going to be taking them with me.
Good idea. What a kid.
You know what I mean? He says, I'll be taking, he's not going to take them all. He's going to take some of them. And it's just reading, basically. That's basically what it is. It's just revision for his exams next year.
Yeah, with us,
Mark, do you have that out there?
What, the books?
Yeah.
For us, when we buy, we have to buy exam papers for each subject, so we can go over them in the class and get a gist of what the exams will be like. But then the other problem is when we buy our exams, or not our exams, our lockers to store our books in, when that time is up, we have to give back the keys to our lockers. We have to carry all of our books home.
Well, I think that was the idea. I mean, if you'd have seen this stack of books, and Callum says, I've had to carry all them in my backpack on the bus.
Oh my
God. No, it must have been like a 10-ton weight, because I mean, literally the stack of books were like this high. There must have been about at least 15, something like that.
Bags with me 2 or 3 days at a time.
Oh my gosh.
And I was lucky that I was able to get picked up those days. I was able to just throw the bags in and up there we go.
Well, I says to him, I says, well, look at it this way, Callum. I says, it's like weightlifting for you, ain't it, really, Okay then, Marie, thanks for coming in.
Bye, Marie.
Bye, Marie. You know what I mean? And he says, I know Brit's made me backache. He says, oh, because he's like just got a backpack and like just basically throw them all in his backpack.
Oh my gosh.
He's had to stand at the bus stop waiting for the bus, actually get on the bus, and then he's had to walk like 10 minutes from the bus stop up to where we live. And I felt sorry for him because he'd had to carry these books all this way.
Well, he's lucky because where my school is set, there's actually 2 ways where I can go home. I find one faster. But when we had to do all this, it was either go the long way around straight road and then up a short hill, or the fast way, go up a very steep hill, come across and go down. So,
so either way, you were scuppered.
Yes.
Well, see, I wish they had that kind of out here for our kids, because they don't give them nothing to take home for the summer. There's nothing to study over the summer, and then the teachers are complaining that the kids don't remember half the stuff when they get back in September.
Yeah, we get lots of notes for that. We even got a full folder back, a big folder full of revision sheets and stuff. I think it's this one. But all these sheets inside of it, all revision sheets.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, you see these revision books that Callum's got are basically, and Mark will probably thing, these sort of typical questions questions what they ask in the exams.
Yeah.
Or they'll ask this certain, let's say in maths, they'll ask this certain like algebra or things like that. This sort of, they get you to revise what basically they will ask in the exams.
Yeah.
So basically, it's all right, you revising, and then it comes to the exams and you're revising all the wrong work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, maths is a big problem for me. Have you ever gotten a teacher that can't teach the subject?
No.
Yep. Yeah. Been there a time or two.
Yeah, that's why I struggle with maths. I used to be good at maths back in my old school. When I came into this school, the teacher just can't teach maths.
You see, the one problem we've had with Callum is obviously, is like he's got special educational needs. Now he struggles with science, and he had this particular teacher, and I think it was only like I don't know what you call him, a supply teacher. He sort of weren't a permanent fixture.
Yeah.
And doing this science lesson, and basically, if Callum doesn't understand anything, he's sort of, could you sort of explain to me, sir? And this bloke says, here's sheet, everything's explained, and he'd sort of got that attitude.
That's exactly like my teacher.
You know what I mean?
You could ask
everything's there on the board. Here's the sheet. You know what I mean? But
figure it out.
Callum gets it eventually once he's had it explained to him.
Yeah.
Now you shove a piece of paper or something in front of him, and he'll look at it and he'll say, "I still don't understand it." Unless it's explained to him, he doesn't understand it.
That's like a happy image of our maths teacher. He writes it up and expects us to know it, and you can even get in trouble or even sent out just for asking to explain it.
Well, some as I say, Callum, he got short shrift from this science teacher, and we have like a yearly review of his statement to, the special educational needs officers there, and I says, okay then, DIY Misfit, thank you for joining us. And I says to him, I says, and I explained it, and they knew the situation is he needs things explaining to him. It does get it if it's explained to him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I said that is basically what Callum needs. He needs it explaining. He does get it, but by shoving a piece of paper in front of him, that is, to me, is not explaining it to him.
See, my boys are the same way. They have and unfortunately it runs in our family too. They all have some sort of mental disability at school. Austin is actually dyslexic, and he is severely dyslexic, and he struggles every day, and his teacher will turn around and go, deal with it, you know what you're doing by now, come on, and this and that. And I'm like,
well this is what I'm saying. I mean, same as Beauty says, teachers don't seem to have that personal and you see nearly every lesson, well, I will say nearly every lesson, biggest majority of the lessons, Callum has got what they call a teaching assistant.
Yeah.
And the aim of that teaching assistant is to explain to Callum exactly what the teacher wants them to do.
Yeah.
If you understand it.
And sometimes they can explain it way better than the teacher can.
Yeah.
That happened a lot.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
And like even he made cupcakes yesterday. I put a picture up on my Instagram. He did cupcakes.
I saw that.
Yeah. Anyway, but he's even got a TA in there because he's left-handed and he's got low muscle tone in his arms and his legs. So he finds it difficult, like chopping things, and you know what I mean? He does find it difficult, and he does have trouble and to eye coordination. Now, I don't know whether anybody understands hand to eye coordination. It's basically your brain and your hands sort of don't communicate with each other.
It's like a delayed reaction. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So when it comes to chopping things, etc., you know.
Oh, wow.
Oh, Pixie's saying he's got 2 more to do till dinner time. But yeah, you know, I mean, this is why he's got a teaching assistant in food prep, as we call it. You know, because and I tried to like let's say last week he made cheese and onion pasties. Now I tried to help him as much as I can. I grated the cheese for him. I chopped his onion up for him.
Yeah.
So it's less for him to actually physically do while he's in the lesson.
Yep.
And I've sort of got feedback from that saying, yeah, we appreciate, you know, what you do for him, you know what I mean? But it's sort of just making it a little bit easier for Callum.
See, out here, I think a lot of the problem is there's too many students and not enough teacher. You know, like there's.
I was going to say we've got that problem as well. We've got that problem as well. But the class sizes are increasing, and the teachers have got more work to do. You know, as regards, you can't expect a teacher to sit down with an individual pupil when they've got like a class of, let's say, between 25 and 30 pupils.
Yeah.
You know, you just can't possibly expect a teacher, you know, to sit down and go through. And this is why they employ the TAs, you see. It makes their job a lot easier when they've got students like Callum, you know, that need it explaining a little bit more in depth.
Yeah. See, Carter, he suffers with high anxiety. And you wouldn't know it from just seeing him because he's a bundle of energy. He's always positive. He's such a little cutie, right? But he struggles at school because, you know, he just feels overwhelmed. And some teachers, like you said, like with Cullum, they just throw a sheet in front of them and expect him to do it. Like he doesn't get it. But when he has a learning resource that he goes to every day. And she's seen him flourish. He's great. Like there's days where he won't do anything. But like, yeah, it's just, yeah, it's insane.
Well, you see, the thing is, I mean, in the UK, it used to be called a statement of special educational needs. Now they've done a revamp of the system. Hey, good morning, Ruby Slippers.
Hello,
They've done like the government have done like a total revamp of it, and it's no longer called a statement. But the aim of that statement is to, for such as Callum, to get on with his work, or you know what I mean. And it even goes through to, let's say, even when he goes to college or it becomes an employee, it even carries on there. You know, if he's struggling in his job, they are there to support him, saying, well, look, what are you struggling with? What problems are you having? You know what I mean? They're not just there. And a few years ago, because it sort of come on in leaps and bounds as regards his education, they said to me, well, in actual fact, we don't think that he needs this statement anymore. And basically the outline of it was, well, it's up to you if you keep that statement in place, or whether you say, well, yeah, it's okay, he doesn't need it anymore. The same as I said, I would sooner have that statement in place still, rather than say, okay, he doesn't need it anymore, and then go through the whole process of having to apply for another statement, let's say when it's exams time.
Yeah.
And saying, well,
Mark,
look.
Yeah, I was going to say to Mark, like, how do you feel about that? Like, do you need an EA or?
No, you see, when we first got into our school, we call it like first year, second year, third year, so on. At the start of first year and second year, you get this what you call an
Hi,
SNA.
Donnie. How are you?
It's like a helper as well, just in the class and stuff. Maybe for the teacher as well, just to help if the teacher needs to photocopy something. And they sometimes the SNAs that we have can like explain work better than the teacher can, and they we don't have them now in third year now, because I'm third year. We don't really have one anymore.
Well,
So,
you see, they do it different over here because you've got your primary school, and when they start like high school, it's year 7, 8, 9, 10, and the last year is year 11. While Callum is in year 10, but higher James. It's sort of 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And then obviously from there you go on to on what we call the sixth form or college. So Callum is in year 10, and it's sort of unfortunate, but he's 16 in November. But because his birthday's in November, it was like me. My birthday was in September. So I was 16 and a half by the time I left school.
Yeah. Wow.
So basically, by missing out on, because his birthday's in November, his exams aren't till next year. But I will give credit where credit's due. Hi, Drive Shaft Jew, how are you? Callum's school has been tremendous. I mean, he's even got a laptop here because he's left-handed, and the problem that he's like writing is like probably like 6 years old. You know what I mean? So basically, they've gave him a laptop. Like, let's say, for instance, he's got to do a project or something for English, or he's got to write a paper on a book or something. He can do it on his laptop, because we got told that when it comes to the exams, if his writing is ineligible or unreadable, they'll just screw it up and throw it in the bin. So there has been talk of him having what we call a scribe.
Yeah, it's crazy.
There's a person there. Callum looks at the question and he explains to the scribe his answer, and the scribe just writes it down for him.
Good.
Which, and same as I say, I've got to take my hat off to the school that they've been behind Callum 100% all the way.
Yeah.
And I do hope your wife's all right, Donnie. Everybody will be thinking about her.
Yeah, I'll be praying for her, Donnie. What is it, if you don't mind us asking, what is it that she's in surgery for? And I felt bad for her. Yeah, you know what? Was it
going back to that again? It did get a bit heated, and I think things were running a bit high, and everybody sort of got a little, a little sort of et up. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is, when Keith was on with Barry last night, Donnie did come and apologize for putting James on timeout and everything else, right? But the thing was, like, he did constantly warn James several times.
Yeah, I did comment to Pixie after that. I mean, he got warning after warning after warning, and Donnie did ask him to leave.
Yeah,
I saw the comment where, and same as we said earlier on, Donnie, we did say sort of it was something that had got to be aired in private, not in public.
Yep. It's especially not on that kind of thing, but But yeah, back to what we were saying. Like, we have EAs out here, teachers' assistants, and everything else, and they've actually started doing the same thing as giving them an iPad or giving them a laptop for them to work on. And for Austin, they said that when he starts high school in the fall, because like his area, like you were saying, Mark, yours is math. I think mine is math too. I hate math. Because I had that one teacher.
Mine were maths as well. That, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's a hard one, but Austin's is language, writing and reading. He struggles because of the dyslexia, right? And they said that they're gonna have things all set up and everything, and he can have either a laptop or an iPad to work on in school, which is an absolute blessing.
Johnny says his wife has endometriosis.
Oh my goodness, that's.
Well, you see, going back to that, Pixie is slightly dyslexic. Now, Callum takes after me is anybody can ask me to spell anything. I mean, I'm Pixie's personal dictionary. He'll just say to me, how do you spell this? How do you spell that? You know what I mean? Now, Callum is like me in that respect because I could never fathom maths whatsoever.
Yeah.
And Callum is exactly like me. He's struggling in maths. I didn't like science either. So he didn't like science. He don't like science for the fact it's too complicated for him to grasp.
Austin
now,
loves.
as regards English, I mean, I could sit and read a book from cover to cover, no problems. And Callum is exactly the same.
Yeah.
Hey, Cherry Giggles.
Hey, Cherry. My son, Jordan, he's my oldest boy. He loves reading. He can flip through a book in a day or two.
Yeah. You know, I mean, and like in all Callum's school reports, he's had some wonderful comments about, you know, his English, the way he explains things. You know, he sort of goes into depth explaining things like, let's say, I mean, like one of the books. I'm just saying this as an example. One of the revision books is about the Christmas Carol. Now, obviously, they're going to be asking test questions on the Christmas Carol. So obviously, they've gave him a book to revise on that particular subject. Now, that he'd sit and he'd read it and he'd take it all in.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Well.
So yeah. I mean, I mean, he might look like Pixie, but a lot of, you know, he does sort of. How can I put it? It does get emotional. It does get panicky. It's like me emotionally, you
Absolutely.
know, as regards, you know, like loving English, you know, loving, you know, spelling, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like me in that respect, but in looks wise is like Pixie's double.
Yeah, well, he is. Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Yeah.
You know, and you'd be surprised. I mean, every year he gets a glowing report from school saying is a credit to the school. I mean, and he got the Diamond Phoenix Award sort of a few months back, and that is credit to him because. And I'll explain the Diamond Phoenix Award is. It is, let's say he's in a lesson, he does something, and the teacher rewards them by giving them a gold star. You know, just like a gold star. The Diamond Phoenix Award is for attaining 200 gold stars. So we got a certificate and a badge. No, I think it was 125. I think it was. Well, there was some there that got the next step up. They got the Diamond Phoenix Award, but they also got like a crystal paperweight, and that is for 200.
Oh, wow.
So I says to him when he got, I mean, me and Pixie were there. His nan and granddad were there. Pixie's sister and her, you know, and they went the whole log. They did a presentation, and you know, when we came out, we said, "Well, look, Callum, there's your goal to attain 200, and you'll get like a paperweight, a crystal paperweight. You know, it's something you have to encourage him. You know, well, you know you can do it. We know you can do it, and everybody believes in you. So that is your goal, to get the 200 gold stars, and then next time they have a presentation, because they also put them on what's called the Wall of Fame.
Yeah.
And it's that their way of the school's way of encouraging them to attain these gold stars.
Yeah.
And if they actually get the Diamond Phoenix Award, they get the name put up on this, like it's like a list of names on the wall.
Yeah.
So if they attain the next level, which is the 200, and they get the paperweight, they actually have a big star at the side of the name saying that they've actually attained the Diamond Phoenix Award plus the next level to it.
This is, the one I got. I'm just going to try to block out the Google.
Oh, wow.
I have this one, and I think I have another version, and then I got a normal trophy then for another subject. I think it was art, but this is a class reward.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that.
I don't know. This is last year's one, and then I have one from 2016 as well. But yeah, that's what we get. It's like a
well, you see, when we received the email saying he was getting this Diamond Phoenix Award, there's not many people in this class. I mean, in the school. You know, you've got to think there's hundreds of pupils in the school, and it's sort of not attained by very many pupils.
Yeah. Don't kill yourself on live there, Mark.
You know, it was a case of, same as I say, when we came out, we says, well, look, you know, here's a challenge for you, Callum. You get 200, and next time we'll be coming to another ceremony where you get, you know, the paperweight, crystal paperweight. It's just like a personal, you know, challenge to him. Well, look, you've achieved this. You can achieve more, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely.
Did you stub your toe, Mark?
Yeah, I was. I left all his toys in the floor, and as I was walking, I whacked off the most metal one, like.
He stubbed his toe. Well, I saw that. All I heard was like this, and I went, "Don't kill yourself on live camera."
well, this is the thing. I was talking with Bella yesterday on the messenger, and not come at door. I stood up, my knee popped out of joint. I'm hobbling to the front door, and I'm going, "Oh, blimey neck!" Well, I was using stronger language than that. I'll sort of, you know, give you an example of, oh, blimey neck, my knee. I gets to the door, and it was somebody from Red Cross. I says, I'm not being rude. I says, I've sort of like broke my neck to get up, come to the door, my knee's popped out of joint. I'm in absolute agony. I says, now you're wanting to stand here with blooming clipboard and whatever. And I says, I'm sorry, Duck. I says, I'm in agony. I've got to go.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
That happened to me, but it wasn't the front door. It was actually out the back. I heard this like howl coming from the dog, but I thought it was just her doing what she always does to get
Ruby says Jeanette, does having a statement affect it? No, it actually helps the progress. Actually, Ruby, it from him first having the statement. I mean, you get schools, I mean, and this. Going back, this is just my opinion, because they get money from the government per pupil for each child that's got a statement.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, some schools are just after the money and couldn't give a stuff about the pupils' progress or helping them, etc.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're just there saying, well, I've got this student, he's got a statement, give me your money, sort of thing.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say about the school that it's not about the money, it's about Callum. And to me, you know, since he started there, he has come on leaps and bounds, leaps and bounds. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you see, this is what I was saying about him. You see, they do like I don't know whether you're the same. Do you have like careers advisors and you know they go and see a careers advisor, etc. And what do you want to what do you want to do in career wise? Now, when they ask Callum this, he says historian, or he wanted to work in ICT or work in catering.
Yeah. I don't know, Mark. Do you have that there?
Well, when we have this year called fourth year, it's like a year where it's like, well, you could call it a break year as well, instead of going right to exams again straight away. But they offer this thing called work experience.
Callum's doing his in July.
Yeah, you get to go to a local place like a shop or something, and it's like experiencing work basically. And my friend actually does it across the road. He said it was a fun experience, but he got to work in the place where he did work experience and he got paid for it. It was like his job, but he's finding somewhere new now.
Ruby Sipper says that's good. How about well, you see the statement that he's got does follow him into his career, and if he needs any help as regarding his career, because you see the thing is, Callum's doing his work experience in July. He's going to work in a church, but he's not actually going to work in the church. The church has got like 3 function rooms. They've got their own cafe and they do outside catering. Now, when he landed this work experience, if you'd have seen his eyes light up, you know, it's basically everything rolled into one. He'll be working in the cafe. He'll be serving in the cafe. Now, I'm not saying he's going to be preparing the food, but they do outside catering. He'll be going out with helping to prepare the outside catering, helping to prepare for functions. Now, it's only a week. But they did say afterwards, if he wanted to volunteer 3 days a week or 2 days a week, it was quite welcome to do so. And same as I said, it's something you can put on your CV. I've done volunteer work for such an amount of period, and it looks good on your CV for your future employers.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like you have to have something. Like we have here co-op, and what it is they get, it's the same thing. They get the on-the-job experience, but it's not necessarily what profession they're going into. It's just giving them the experience of being on a job.
Well, you see, if I've had to sign like a permission slip this morning, and the school has taken, there's like, I think there's like split them up into like smaller groups, and Callum is in a group that's going to a business. I don't know, I can't remember the name of the business or exactly, but it's taking them into the work environment and sort of seeing what they do as regards the everyday process of work.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah,
I'm just looking at Donny's comment, and he says we have been pushing for healthcare plans, etc., with nursery for Harry, but they say he's fine, even though health professionals say he needs it. We see Callum has been under a paediatrician since he was 3 years old.
Yeah.
And my advice to you, Donny, is keep pushing it, and keep pushing it, because. You know, we knew from Callum, from being, because I've got 3 older children. Now, I knew from a young age that there was something that wasn't right. I mean, he wasn't even like sitting up at a year old. I mean, normal babies sit up and are rolling and crawling and everything by one. Callum wouldn't even sit up.
Yeah.
By the age of 1, unaided. And I knew then from that age that there was something not quite right. Now,
Yeah.
he was under a paediatrician. And it's sort of gone through the process, like when he started nursery, when he started school.
Yeah. Wow.
But you see, same as I said, John, you need to keep getting him back to the paediatrician and keep pushing and pushing and pushing, because otherwise, you've got to keep pushing them.
Okay, bye, Baz.
I'm laughing at Baz.
Yeah, I know this is said. Bye, Baz. Have fun with it.
Bye, Barry. Don't forget to put your pinny on in your rubber gloves.
Oh, poor little guy. How old is your son, Donnie?
Oh, my back is a bit.
That's hard. You all right, bud?
My back is just the way I'm sitting. I'm like hunched and because I can't.
Buy a drive shaft, Drew. Have you got to get your over that as well? But yeah, I mean, my only advice to Donnie is keep pushing and keep pushing. Yeah. You know what I mean? That is the only way you're going to get anywhere. Keep going back to him. Keep saying, well, this is not right. This is not right. Because
Good.
We have had meetings with the school and council, and they seem up for helping Harry when he starts it. We see this is what you need. You need all the help you can get. You see, and as well, you'll find once you start school, the more people you get involved, the more it'll be recognised, and they'll say, because you see, with Callum, I mean, we got paediatricians, we got everything. They said at one point they thought he'd got dyspraxia.
Yeah.
We've had all sorts of diagnoses, but nothing confirmed. You see, we're going to occupational therapy. It was going to, like some say, the paediatrician. One told us, I mean, this is the everything that they've sort of said. They thought at one point it got spina bifida.
Yeah.
Then you've got one saying they've got what they thought was Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Yeah.
So it's basically you get told all these different things, but never a certain diagnosis. I mean, and even to this day, we have not had a specific diagnosis for the problems that he's had.
Okay.
Oh dear. Are you kicking yourself again, Mark?
How tall are you, Mark?
Don't go breaking your toe like Pixie did.
I'm after standing on Lego. Is that
Oh no.
Oh dear. Scunthorpe consultant said Harry's lungs was fine. Cleft team thought different, so referred us to Sheffield. Had tests done on his lungs and had pneumonia.
Oh, brother.
But I will say, Donnie, the Sheffield Children's Hospital is one of the best hospitals, or if not, one of the best hospitals in the country.
Oh, poor kid.
You know what I mean? I mean, Callum had a problem with his ear. Now, Pixie has always had trouble with his ears.
Oh boy.
You know, and he's had the same problem. You know, and he's only been to the Sheffield Children's Hospital once, and some say that were with his ears. And they couldn't do enough for you. Yeah. He says they are outstanding in Sheffield. So as I say, that and the Northern General are one of the best hospitals. Because see, Eagle VP, his grandson fell and broke his back, and they airlifted him to the Northern General in Sheffield. And and basically, I mean, he spent an amount of time in hospital. He is out now, but he's in a wheelchair.
Oh, poor kid.
So and he said, if it, and that's why they airlift them to Sheffield hospitals, because they're one of the best hospitals in the country.
Excuse me. Yeah.
So Eagle VP, I mean, that's how we sort of started meeting up with Eagle VP, because he was having to come to Sheffield to see his grandson in the hospital. And I mean, it sort of, he only dropped in on occasion, let's say his hi Carter, his wife and a daughter, the daughter were going. He'd sort of drop them off at the hospital, come here for a cuppa and a natter, and then he'd go and pick them up afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Queen's Medical Centre. I know Nottingham's Queen's Medical Centre. Well, the thing is, Donny, my mum was transferred when she got the diagnosis of cancer, was transferred to the Queen's Medical Centre, and she had 2 stents put in there. Now, personally, my mum didn't like it because it is a big, big hospital. She was sort of, the hospital that she was in previous to that, it's a smaller hospital. She was more comfortable in the smaller hospital. I think she was like a fish out of water in the larger hospital, and I must say, the treatment at Queen's Medical Centre, but sort of she had this procedure done. She had 2 stents put in, and once she'd recovered from the surgery, etc., they did transfer her back to her original hospital. So yes, I mean, Queen's Medical Centre is an outstanding hospital as well.
Oh, okay.
But you see, the Queen's Medical Centre, that is classed as a teaching hospital, which is the Northern General in Sheffield, that is classed as a teaching hospital as well.
Yeah.
And it's where, it's where a lot of the students train and learn at them particular hospitals.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know whether Donny saw it, but there was, I think it's about a month ago now, there was a documentary on BBC Two called The Hospital, and that was solely filmed in Queen's Medical, and it was showing you the problems, bed blockers and people having to wait in A&E for hours, just the typical problems that a hospital has as regarding funding, etc.
Yeah. Wow.
At one point, I mean, in this program, it's shown you that there was 23 patients in accident and emergency on beds in the accident and emergency because there was no beds elsewhere for them to go.
Yeah.
And this all came down to resources. And basically, I think it was filmed in January, I think. And it got to the point where, obviously, like during the winter months, you've got like the flu academic, the flu academic and whatever. There was just nowhere for them to go. And they actually had to cancel all non-emergency operations except for cancer patients and children's operations. They was the two that they wasn't allowed to cancel. Everything else went out the window, and they had to cancel all non-emergency operations. And as well as that, they had to buy beds from the private section or private sector. You know, it was an eye-opener, to say the least.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, I mean, and that's just one hospital here in the UK. You know, the bigger hospitals are having the same problem.
Yeah.
Staffing, beds, you know. And
well, even here, like, we took Austin. He had bashed his head off the heater one day. He tripped and fell, and so we had to take him in because we were afraid that there was a problem. And we were in there for 7 hours. And the nurses were like, well, you need to complain to the board, and you need to do this, and no. You need to complain. You guys that are working here, you know, like, you need to complain you're not getting enough hours, not me.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, Pixie were at work one day, and they have to wear steel toe cap boots.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was on this flight of stairs. He turned round for some reason or other, and he sort of fell over. But because he fell forward, the steel toe cap actually broke his big toe.
Yeah.
So he did it on the Saturday. He come home and he says, my toes hurting me, etc. But it was going to the football that particular day. So he went to the football, and normally they'd walk, because it's like only a 10-minute walk away. They walk it there, or sometimes he'll get a taxi, etc. And then they walk it back. Yeah. So anyway, they'd been to the football match. He rang me on the way home and he says, I can't go any further. He says, it's killing me like crazy. He says, basically, I can't walk another step. And he had to call a taxi from where he was and get a taxi to bring him home. So I says to him, in my opinion, I think you've broke it.
Yep.
And so anyway, he says, oh, I'll be all right. I'll, you know, just put it up, rest it, etc. Okay then, Bella. See you later. Bella. So anyway, you know, he put his foot up, blah, blah, blah. Gets up the next morning and his toe had swelled up like a balloon. So I says to him, I says, well, you can't drive, because obviously, because it's your foot, it's your toe. So I'm laughing at what Donny's put. He says, was that because they were watching the Blades? Yeah. Anyway, so I rung Joy, who I was talking about before. I says, look, I says, he fell yesterday. I think he's broke his toe. Would you be kind enough to take us to the hospital? Yeah. So anyway, she lives near the hospital. So she came and picked us up. She says, I'll drop you off. She says, just give me a ring when you're ready to be picked up. We were sat there 3 hours. 3 hours. And he had broke his toe. And they gave him like one of these boots. Oh, I'm sorry, we've missed it. Can we just, it's 12:04. Can we just have a minute's silence for these 72 victims of the Grenfell disaster? I wasn't watching the time, so can we just have a minute's silence? I don't know whether that's a minute or not, but thank you for everybody for respecting the, you know, the victims of the Grenfell Tower disaster. It is a year today since 72 people lost their lives in it. So after my mark of respect, I wanted to do a minute's silence. So thank you very much, Vicky. Thank you, Mark.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was very sad. It was hard to.
Yeah. So it was. I wasn't keeping my eye on the time. It was everybody were doing a minute's silence at 12 o'clock, but we've done it and we've paid his respects.
Yeah.
Right, going back to Pixie. So anyway, his friend dropped us off at the hospital, and she says, "Give me a ring when when you're ready." 3 hours later, he's still and they gave him a boot, and they said basically if it were any other toe, they wouldn't have done anything about it.
That's right.
But because it's your big toe and it's central to your balance or whatever, they had to give him this boot. So I mean, them safety boots are supposed to stop things like that, but in actual fact, it caused it.
Yeah, exactly.
So okay then, Donnie. Yeah, so basically, and then you got this nutter woman come in. I think she'll rye on something or other, banging and shouting, and I'm not kidding you. We sat there, and like what it's like in A&E. There's hustle and bustle, and there's people talking over one another. You could hear a pin drop when this woman come in. I'm not kidding you. You could hear a pin drop. You're an absolute lunatic.
You too, Donnie.
Take care, and I hope your wife is okay, and hope everything goes all right for you, and hope you feel better.
Okay, but you're going to school today.
Yes, Carty. Yes, Carty, you've got to go to school today.
Do you hear Mrs. P? Mm-hmm. Her word is law, by the way. It means what she says goes. If she says you have to go, you have to go. That's it. Oh, he's going.
I said to work.
Yeah, he did.
You're forgetting I have heard all the stories under the sun as regards not going to school. I've heard every excuse in the book.
I'm gonna put up
Carter's really excited. I bought my other iPad is paid off, but it's a little buggered because it's I don't know, bent, and it's like there's a little crack on the screen. So I went and got myself a new one, and he's like, "Yay, we don't have to argue over it anymore."
Pixie, when he films my vlogs, he puts the tripod up and he films on his phone.
Yeah.
Right. So when he were filming, I think it was the Bakewell tray bait, he was trying to get it because he's like got a thing that he clips it into on top of the tripod, like an older thing. So he was trying to get his phone off the holder and it fell on floor. So it didn't crack it as such. It sort of like did some like airline cracks in the back case of it. Worked fine and everything. So then he goes in the bath yesterday. When the Red Cross man came, he went in the bath. So he came down all in a panic, and he said, because he likes to take his phone up with him and he plays music while he's having a bath. I mean, like now me, I like to sit in the bath in complete silence, blah, blah, blah. So he comes down all in a tiz. He says, "I've just dropped my phone in bath."
Yeah.
So I says, "Well, he's got the S7." And I says, "Well, by rights," I says, "the S7 should be waterproof." He says, "I know that," and blah, blah, blah. He says, "But sound's sort of gone ever so quiet." So I says, "Take back off it," I says, "and, like, give it a dry out." And he says, "Yeah, I'm a bit dubious of taking the back off with it being sort of like a bit cracked."
Oh, boy.
So then he decided to put it on charge, and he kept saying, "Oh, it's coming up with this message. There's been, moisture has been detected or something." So twice he had to get the hairdryer out. I think it's okay now because obviously he's been on here on this morning on it. So, you
Oh,
know,
wow.
he was sort of panicking, and twice he had to get the hairdryer out because he kept having this message come up, you know, moisture has been detected.
Oh, boy.
So I says to him, I says, why, you know, why are you frightened of taking the back off? I says, it's not. He says, well, it might like crumble into 1,000 pieces sort of thing. I says, well, it'd be easy just to take the back off. It's all right. I looked over, and out corner of my eye, I thought I seen a shadow when it picks his computer chair in front of the patio door. And you know, like when you sort of see something out corner, you're right. And I sort of looked, and you know, out corner of my eye, it looked like a big shadow, and I thought somebody was stood at the patio door.
Oh, no.
Oh, you see, I do get paranoid, you know, because I'm here on my own. I do get, even though sort of when Pixie leaves and Callum goes to school, I lock all the doors. I don't have the windows open or anything. While I'm here on my own, I lock everything up.
Yeah.
But it was one of just one of them things where I sort of caught something out the corner of my eye. I thought, blooming hell, is there somebody stood at
Did we have a little nip of the wacky Kool-Aid this morning there, Jeanette?
No, I've only had coffee.
But Carter wants me to show you something. I got him something for his birthday, and he wants me to show you. This is his birthday present.
Oh.
You hear it?
My dog when
This is his favorite character. What's that, Mark?
Sounds like my dog when she knows she's going to have a bath.
Is it Wookie?
Yeah, he was super excited. What's that?
Well,
Sorry,
I've still actually got to do everything that Chopper's sent me is still in its box because it's been that crazy, you know, what we're doing, my vlogs and Pixie doing his and everything. The stuff that Chopper's sent me is still in the box. I'm supposed to be doing a unboxing, even though I did it on the live stream. For people that's not seen the live stream, I wanted to do like an unboxing, and everything is still in the box because I ain't got round to doing it.
I haven't done any time on reviewing any of the YouTube figures I've made. I said I'd do them over and over again. I still haven't done them. I've made them ever since, and I still haven't done them.
Well, it sort of gets to that point where, you know, everything sort of goes crazy. You've got that much stuff to do. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, me and Night, I will know you've still got your housework and everything to do. You've still got the pots to wash. You've still got the washing. You know what I mean? And it's sort of that situation where even though we don't work, there's never enough hours in the day to get done what you want to get done.
That, and because we have men in the household, we know what it's like. We're constantly walking behind them, picking up everything. You know.
Oh yeah, because funny thing is, we sat here the other day. Talking of which, that's Pixie.
Okay.
He's over here. Look, he's after skipping work. He's over here.
Hang on a minute. I'll just mute the microphone.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, I was gonna ask you, Mark, how tall are you?
I'm pretty tall. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
I don't know.
Can you walk through a door frame without hitting your head?
Just about it.
Because my son, my 20-year-old, I don't know if you've ever watched any of my Project Candy Box videos, but he is 6'6", size 14 feet. And when I saw you hunched over like that, sitting underneath it, I was laughing because that's what he's like. My nephew has a Hyundai Genesis, and if you sit in the back of that thing, that's exactly how you'd look sitting there like this.
Paranoid thing that Mrs. P was on about. That actually happened to me one night. I was lying in bed, I was on my phone, and it was actually dark because all the lights were off, and I had my cupboard open. And even though I loved this jacket so much, the way it was hunched over because it's winter as fur, it looked like just standing there. I was about to jump out of the bed and tear it down until I shone the light and I saw it. And I was like, okay.
You had a Mrs. P moment, did you?
Like,
that's funny.
I am sometimes paranoid when I'm by myself. Like, not as bad, like, because I know it's all right where I am. It's just if I'm by myself at night, it's I'm not too cautious about outside the front. It's out the back that I'm really concerned because it's very easy to jump shed or wall to wall because that has happened once. I was gonna say that, but before, but we were kind of talking about something else when Miss Hughes talking about when she injured herself. I literally injured myself when I thought someone was at the door. I heard her cry. I thought it was just her, like I said, I thought she was doing it normally, like to get attention. But this is a cry I never heard before, and I ran down the stairs. I actually slipped and I slid down the stairs, and I mean, I burned my leg. I didn't care. I wanted to get to the back door, see what was going on. So I got up, ran, and I got to the back door. Now she knows she's not allowed in the house unless it's very hot. We have the door open and she's not shedding. She lie down in the door frame. I swear I opened the door and she ran through the kitchen onto the floor next to me. And
I'm back.
I was like, what's going on here?
It was Pixie doing his checkup call.
Cool.
Making sure I ain't got up fireman. No, it does it every day. He always phones me sort of while he's having his dinner and say, yeah, you see what he's put. These chips are yummy. He's on his lunch break now. He always rings me every lunchtime, make sure I'm all right. Because same as I said, I mean, I do have a dodgy knee and he's always frightened that I'll fall or something. It's just like, hey, talk about choppers and he's sure to appear.
But when I got outside and he had Lex to me, because like she obviously comes to me because I'm actually taking care of the most. And we looked out, we did hear like scruffling and like it was running. My dad actually went out the back. He was just after done a shower and he went out with his knife and he had to look around to see what was going on. He didn't know what was going on. I was like rubbing her for a while. My mum actually went down to rub her, but I don't know if it was in the area that she tried to rub her or it was just rubbing her in general. She actually growled at my mum. I don't know because it looked like she was in pain. It's like our view of it, because we haven't had cameras installed out the back yet. Our view of it was someone jumped the wall and seen her. Now she would not bite anyone unless she knew that she had to. But
to defend.
Probably got.
Pixie says, "No, you're right. I'm checking on you." But you see, the thing is, I've just told Pixie about the incident where I sort of saw that corner of my eye, and I thought somebody was standing at the door, and when I turned around, it was his computer chair, and he says, "I still swear the house is haunted."
Yeah.
But I don't think in a bad way, because sometimes, you see, there's been one or two incidents where Pixie's been sat over there and he's felt a tap on his shoulder, and we think it's my mum because she absolutely adored Pixie. She loved him to bits. Yeah, you know what I mean. And it's you know,
that happened
so we was actually at Choppers. We're on about. I've still got to do the unboxing video of the things that you sent me, and we were just saying that things has been that hectic. Hey, Kate's back. Hey, you know, I still haven't done the unboxing. He says he can't help being God.
But that happened. My dad, I don't know. I can't remember what the day it was. My dad's nan passed away, and I think I wasn't there at the time because we were on holidays, and he actually had to fly back for the funeral. And he said that they were at the graveyard. There was not one bit of wind that day because it was just all peace, quiet. There was no wind blowing or nothing. And after they were done, they were standing by the grave. They said these pink petals just flew, like did a loop around the grave, I think, or flew around the grave, and flew on. But there was no wind. They said it must have been her.
I know I'm interrupting you, Mark, but you know why you was on about you know, the Birmingham meet and everything, and you couldn't travel alone. Kate's on about coming to the Birmingham meet. So if you could get, and Kate could accompany you, would you be prepared to travel with Kate to come to the Birmingham meet?
I actually don't know.
I mean, it'd be something worth sort of discussing with your parents. Obviously, because of your age, I mean, children aren't allowed to travel alone. But
Yeah.
I mean, if you did want to come to the Birmingham meet, I mean, I'm sure Kate would accompany you. So I mean, that's sort of just an option, you know. I mean, if you did really want to come to the Birmingham meet, and as well, Mark, we have been invited by Kate to stay at a mother's rental property. So at some point, we may be coming over to Ireland.
Oh.
So, and there's a plus to it as well, because, she's flying. Yeah, and she says, I'm flying over Dublin Airport, more than welcome to travel with her. So, I mean, the options there, Mark, I thought, while I'd got you both, Mark mentioned the other day that he wasn't allowed to travel by himself.
Yeah, I remember.
So,
Yeah.
you know, with Kate being from Ireland, I mean, the options there to be accompanied by Kate. I mean, she don't look it, but she's over 18.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's 20-something.
and yeah, and on the plus side as well, Eagle VP is on about coming with us as well.
Oh, good.
But it's sort of later on in the year, because we've got an holiday coming up in August. So we said once we've had the she says not much spying, I'll be camping in the garden. So yeah, so I mean, Kate kindly sort of said if we wanted to visit Ireland, and Mum's property is available for us, and sort of we mentioned it to Keith, and he says, oh, you know, does that invitation sort of, you know, is that invitation offered to me as well? So basically we said, well, if we're going, we may as well all go together. He said, what, Eagle's coming as well, staying our.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, you know, it's nice, you know, I mean, that we can do this sort of thing, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Who's cooking?
Pixie does the meals part of it, so I imagine Pixie will be doing the cooking.
Yeah.
Or going out to eat.
Baking.
Or get Kate in to do it. Kate's put Jeanette.
Apparently Kate makes good donuts with her little machine, so
it's only like a pipe. Well, it's called a piping syringe, actually.
Yeah.
You know, it's just a piping thing. And because we're going up to visit Mr. Eagle VP, and it's Father's Day over the weekend, I'm going to make him some of the ginger cupcakes with salted caramel icing.
Oh, okay, now you're just making me jealous.
You know what I mean? And same as I says, I mean, he's tried the lemon drizzle, he's tried the 7-Up pancake. He didn't get a chance to try the ginger cupcakes with salted caramel icing. So I says, well, I'll make them tomorrow, because we're going up Saturday. So obviously I don't think there'll be a vlog going up over the weekend, because we're staying over Saturday night and coming back Sunday, obviously, for Callum and Pixie for work and school on Monday.
Yeah.
So it's sort of just like, because it's the first Saturday that Pixie hasn't had to work, we said, well, look, we'll get away just for a bit of downtime, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, so watch out. There may be some live streams, or I mean, obviously, Pixie's the drone with him, so we're going out flying the drone with Eagle VP. So it's sort of a mixed thing. We may, you know, Keith may do an impromptu live. We don't know, sort of. We haven't made any plans at the moment.
Yeah.
But of course, Callum was, oh, do I have to go?
Yeah.
I says, yes, you're not staying all weekend on your own.
Yeah, exactly.
For one, it'd starve because he don't make anything himself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
Plus,
you might not have
plus
a
we'd
home when
come
you get
back
home.
Sunday afternoon and he'd still be sat there on his game, not gone to bed.
Yeah, you might not have a home when you get back.
It says uptime drone in the air, and Chopper says, don't do anything I wouldn't. You too.
Doesn't leave very much, Choppers.
No. It's just basically to get away, have a bit of sort of chillax time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, it's just one of them scenarios. It's the first Saturday he hasn't had to work, you know, and I said it'd be nice just to get away, even if it's only just for the night. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same as we said, the cats will be all right. We'll feed them before we go. They'll have plenty of biscuits and whatever. They're not starved, put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Oh, man.
So, but you know, it's very rare. Same as I say, with not within working Saturdays, you know, it gets the one day off. So in that one day, you never get really a chance to do anything.
You see what your husband's just put in the chat. Yeah.
I'm going stinning. Well, you're on your own with that one, Pixie. I'm not getting derobed and running into the sea stalkers. I'll tell you that for nothing. You'll be on your own with that one.
Yeah.
Especially with the wind how it is.
Yep. It'll be a chilly willy.
I was going to say it'll be a bit windy around the nether regions. I'm keeping my clothes on, thank you very much.
Yeah, that's right. I was going to say.
They'd probably call the Coast Guard and say, we've got a beach whale.
Yeah. That's okay. A couple of times we called my brother Shamu.
You know what I mean? They'd be at Coast Guard or whatever you call it, rescue, saying, God, we've got a beach whale on the beach.
Yeah, chicken legs.
Oh dear.
Oh,
can you imagine that? Typhoon alert.
Did you see what Choppers just wrote?
Hurricane, typhoon,
Yeah.
tsunami, or whatever you call it.
Yeah.
They'd be sending a tsunami warning out if I was supposed to. Well, I won't be able to run into the sea.
Hey, this chat just
I could double, but I can't run.
Choppers is frightened Greenpeace will roll him back into the ocean.
You and me both, Choppers. That Greenpeace come ashore saying, "Oh God, we've got an emergency here."
Yeah, we got a live one here.
Can you imagine us doing a live stream on the beach? Quick, everybody, there's tsunami coming. Oh, no, wait a minute, it's Jeanette going into the sea. I'm glad I've been able to make you laugh anyway. But yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is the thing as well. When we got married, we went to Spain for his honeymoon. And up until that point, I had never got the confidence to wear a bathing suit.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, we were planning on his, you know, and Pixie says, well, where's all your bathing suits? I says, I ain't got any.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't got any. And it was him that gave me the confidence to actually put on a bathing suit and not be bothered about showing all my wobbly bits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Chopper says there'd be a tidal. This is what I'm on about tsunami, Chopper. I mean, tsunami and tidal waves the same, you know. If I jumped in, there'd be a tsunami. You know, newsflash, Cleethorpes got flooded by a tsunami. Oh, wait it 1 minute. Going in the sea.
Yeah. Oh, you're...
Cherry Giggle says, used a birthday in suit. God, there'd be an eclipse. I don't know about a tsunami. A solar eclipse if I sort of went in, if I got my birthday suit out.
When I was pregnant with Sarah, I was so...
Well, you see, the thing is, you see, as I always said, I mean, I've had 4 kids and I've got stretch marks where you wouldn't believe you could get stretch marks. You know what I mean? But having said that, I said to somebody the other day, them stretch marks are my trophy at being a good mum.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And I see what pictures put.
Yeah.
Yeah, all grannies with his Zimmer frames and everything, probably. You know, about 18 years old, you know, running after you with the walking sticks and Zimmer frames.
Yeah, put your clothes back on.
Running after him, waving his clothes in air, saying, I think you forgot something.
Yeah. That's right, Kate. I'm proud of mine too.
You know, and I same as I said to somebody, I don't know whether it ran my live stream or whatever, I can't remember. I've been to bed since then. But you know, them stretch marks are your stripes of pride in being a mum. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, they might not look very good, but you're honoured to have them stretch marks because it shows you're a mum.
Yeah,
Granny.
Yeah. Grab a granny.
That's the only ladies that Pixie gets attention from these days.
Yeah, that's right. That's what I was saying, Choppers. Here, put it back on. Put it back on.
I'm laughing at what Chopper said. Can you imagine Choppers on a pole in his strip club?
Oh no!
Like me. Bang. And how they sort of twirl the legs around it, I don't know. I can't twirl my legs anyway.
Oh my gosh. What about a cycle in the nude once a year? Well, no.
Kate says, I'm proud of my stretch marks, but I still cover up in bit. It was only when we went to Menorca, I went to... Well, you see, that's where I was just saying, Kate. I mean, when I met Pixie, I was a big lady. And sort of when we were getting ready, because we booked his honeymoon to Spain, kept saying, where's all bathing? I said, I ain't got any. You're not getting me in a bathing suit. And it was him that gave me the confidence to go out and buy a bathing suit.
Poor Mark is sitting here as we're talking about stretch marks.
We're on about Choppers on a pole in a strip club, and he put, oh, well, no.
Yeah. So, any input there, Mark?
Oh, well, no. Mark. Oh, dear.
It's too funny.
I want to say it's the mind boggles when you imagine it, isn't it, really?
Can you put it? Sorry, just this conversation's taking a turn for the worse.
Yeah. Kate says, I've lost this convo. Whose legs going where? Chopper's rule is swirling about on a dance pole in a strip club.
Yes, if you look at Mark's face, he's got red cheeks.
Chopper says, I was making you blush, Mark.
Why did I come on?
No, bro, I've gone a bit flush.
Poor kid.
Oh dear. We've gone from a serious topic now to having a laugh. My eyes are streaming.
Yeah, exactly.
It was a British stream, yes. It has been very fun. Bye.
Oh dear.
man. Yeah, but we have to
Well,
have a good laugh once in a while.
A while ago, there was a dance troupe in English, and they're all chubby ladies. And you wouldn't believe how famous they became. I forgot what the names are now. He says she's redder than all. I'm just laughing at what Chopper.
Well, put it on.
Oh dear.
Oh my god.
You know, I mean, you know, just sort of out of curiosity, if I were to go and do a dance in a strip club, I'd need about 10 layers of clothes on before, you know, and then they sort of get halfway through and say, oh, we're getting bored of this, you know, get her off sort of thing.
We just
What
dropped
was
this
that,
fine.
Mark?
Roly-polies, that was it. That
Drop
was the
my
name.
point
Thanks,
again, so I
Kate.
can go under the table for another hour.
Yeah, the roly-polies. And they was actually a dance troupe of ladies that was on the chubby side.
Yeah, I think
You
I
know,
heard
and to
about
me,
them.
for them to do that, I mean, there weren't no blokes, but they got balls, I'll tell you that. It says, is it the watershed? Yeah. Oh.
Well,
At least we've cheered you up, Choppers. He says, I'm feeling sad as my mum would have been 78 today, so I need some cheering up.
Yeah.
Well, believe it or believe it not, on the 14th of August, my mum would have been 78 as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, on the 14th of August, and that's just before we go away on the holidays, my mum would have been 78.
Yeah.
No,
my mum is...
She'd have been 79, actually. Because she was 77 when she died, and she died in the April, she was 78 in the August, and that was like a year. So she'll be 79. She would have been 79 this year.
My mum is just turned 75.
Kate James says, old ladies, I remember, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, your brother's birthday's the 14th of August as well.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
the 13th. My daughter's birthday is the 25th of August.
My great nan was 94.
We see mine's in September, so we're gonna hold you to that, Choppers. You saw it. Everybody's my witness. Chopper says when he gets to 1,000, he's gonna do a nudie run.
Yeah, well, you post this after, so it's in words. I think
this lands on head. He has to do it. This is my lucky coin.
That's right.
Fix this put. Oh God, no.
It's on head. You have to do it.
That's right. Make sure it's a double-headed coin there, Mark.
On a live stream as well.
Oh boy.
This is like, no, it's actually a 10 pence.
Is it?
I found it. Do you know what?
Well, I'll put it out there. If I ever get to 10,000, and that is a big if, I'll do the same. I'll run butt naked down the street with a rose between my bum, but it's never going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Live stream, I'll watch it. Yeah, absolutely, Kate.
Father's Day Sunday, and Kate's birthday's Tuesday. Well, happy birthday for Tuesday.
Yeah. What was that, Mark?
This was one of two coins that we found when we moved in. They were, I think we had them a year or two stuck into the side of the wall until we actually got them out and put them in a Coke, let it all the rock fizz off it.
Just put you on. Well, I don't think it's ever going to happen, Choppers, because I'll never get to 10,000. Not in a month of Sundays.
And the weird part is the back of the coin, the tails or the whatever was on the back. It was all scratched.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
All scratched at the back.
So we've got to promote Choppers. We've got to get him to 1,000.
Absolutely, I agree.
Mark, you've got to promote Choppers. Night Owl, you've got to promote Choppers. Kate, get Easy Days to support Choppers and get it. Say he's doing a nudie run live when he gets to 1,000.
Oh my gosh! Do you realize I just realized I wasn't supporting him?
Yeah. Kate says, you never know, Jeanette, your channel's doing well. Yeah, I mean, there's doing well and get into 10,000 supporters.
Hold on now.
Yeah, I'm almost at 1,000 now.
Did you realise that when you just realised that I realised that I'm not subscribed to him either?
I was just saying that, and I looked at the TV and a chick doing a nudie run on the TV.
Oh,
no. So get the word out. We've got to get Choppers to 1,000, and he's going to do a nudie run live on YouTube.
Yep, absolutely. What's he at now? He's at 975. Or 675, my bad.
I was going to say, come on, we've got 1025.
Yep. Yep. So he did.
And just wait all day and see where it goes.
Yes.
Oh, dear me. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever get to 10,000. I mean, you know, that's why I said 10,000. That's why I said I'd do it at 10,000, because I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So
it will. It may take some.
Flying up in a few months.
Can you remember, Mark? I mean, this is, were it about August time last year, we were saying, me and Mark was in a race to get to 300.
Yeah.
And that was only like 6 months ago.
I'm on 400 and something now.
So we had a race to 300, and that ain't all that long ago.
Oh no, wasn't it 500?
No, it was 300.
I thought it was 500.
So if you look back on Bossman's, you know, it were, he said, you know, who's going to get to 300 first, like Mark or Jeanette?
Yeah, I'm on 416. I'm nearly to the halfway point. 500.
That's awesome.
I mean, believe it or believe it not, my YouTube channel hasn't been going a year yet.
Wow, mine either. I just started the end of January.
Well, so I'm going back. I think it was July last year.
2 years or 3 years now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
What does it say?
Yeah.
Are you referring to the lady on the TV, Choppers, or me?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not talking 2 years. January 2015.
Oh wow.
So you're like been on 3 years now, then, Mark.
Yeah.
Well, Chopper started 2007, really?
And I haven't been doing it by myself.
Ah.
Like to start, and then I was going up.
See, I started my YouTube channel quite by accident, actually. You see, Pixie has been on YouTube quite a while, and he was doing a live stream this particular Friday night, and Random Life and Eagle VP and everybody was there.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually got up to go over to these patio doors to let the cats in. And Pixie says, say hello to everybody. And I just went, because I were a bit sort of shy, and I went, hello. And they were all saying, well, why don't you start a YouTube channel, Jeanette? And it was sort of just about the time, just after my mum had passed away. I were, you know, a bit, you know, and that's how it started.
No good. Well,
you know, it's sort of it was sort of my way of focusing and not sort of, you know, sort of dwelling. You know, it was something for me to focus on, other than the bereavement, the grief, etc. You know, and I mean, if I don't think Gail's still watching because she'll have gone to work.
Yeah.
Oh, we had to top up, ran out of data.
YouTube is very.
But you didn't ring me this time, Pixie.
Where I'm
to ask if you could.
Common where I'm located.
But yeah, it was sort of my outlet for my grief, and you know, it was something. It was just something for me to focus on. And basically, on my about page, all I put was, "If you can't beat them, join them."
Yeah, I hear you.
You know, because Pixie we're doing live streams and we're doing vlogs, etc. You know, and I were the proverbial YouTube widow. You know what I mean? So but it's something that we've both got a shared interest in, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He said Mark needs a mic.
Yeah. Yeah, you need a mic. I can't hardly hear you, bud.
But I have a built-in mic in my laptop.
Ah.
It should be.
It's probably because you're a bit further away from, yeah.
How about now? Is it?
That's it, Margaret, move a bit closer. You see what Pixie's put? Now he's the YouTube widower. Well, as we say here in the UK, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Absolutely.
So there you go. And it did have a criticism, like for my vlog.
Yeah.
Because he says, have you noticed that? I mean, like when I started, I said right. He says you say right awful lot.
Yeah.
Right, right.
Yeah.
This, you don't really notice it when you're doing it, but I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, he's finished his daughter's magwheel coffee table.
Ooh, I can't wait to see that.
And he says she says right all the time.
Yeah. My favorite word is awesome.
But you don't realise you're doing it until sort of you actually watch yourself back. And in actual fact, it is like creative criticism, because I did notice I'm saying right all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's it's like food for thought, so to speak.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's cool, Pixie. He just said cool, man. That's cool.
He meant because Choppers is Mark as well.
Oh, yeah. We've got that.
Oh dear. Right, I'm gonna call it a day, because I've been going like over 2.5 hours, nearly 3 hours, and I have got stuff to do.
Yeah.
So thank you for joining me, Vicky, and thank you for joining me, Mark. And tell Carter he has got to go to school, because his Auntie Jeanette's told him he's got to go to school.
Absolutely.
And tell him to make me something at school.
I will tell him that.
See what he's put. I'm cutting it out next time. There'll be no video to upload then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
we'll make sure to mail it to you too.
Yeah. Okay then, and thank everybody for coming in the chat. And I don't know whether Eagle's doing a live tomorrow, whether Kate's going to go live or what. It's sort of just a case of waiting and seeing.
All right.
So I'll see you all later, and thank you very much.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Bye.